This is Transformation Unscripted, a journey of healing through testimony. Listen, reflect, and be inspired. Welcome to another episode of Transformation Unscripted. I'm your host again, Stacey Shelton, and I have with me my guest, Sharday.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm well. How you doing?
Very glad to have you here on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you look lovely.
Thanks, you
by
too.
The way. Thank you.
Wearing your blue.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm very happy to have you here. I'm glad you said yes when I asked you.
Yes.
We're here to share a testimony. I don't want to take up all your time. So if you don't mind, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and come on right in.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. I am Sharday. I am a local entrepreneur here in St. Louis. And I know Miss Stacey from church and everything. My favorite church I've ever been to in my life. It's helped me get closer to God.
Amen.
Amazing pastor.
Amen.
And it's really helped me going consistently, especially has helped me navigate life in a better and clearer mindset.
That's good.
I used to be very anxiety driven, just very confused about God and like religion in general, and going to the church that we go to has just helped me so much in life. From even me learning to see if prayer was real, and
I love how you said that, if prayer was real.
Yeah.
Now, what do you mean by that? Like, let's get into the background before we get started. Did you grow up in the church?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not grow up in the church. I didn't even realize it was a legacy church until I realized my grandmother's been there so long.
Yes.
And she really invited me going and stuff like that. And I was like, sure, whatever. Me being so young in my early 20s and stuff. And then eventually, I was going with her with the church band. And then it was just meant to be that I live in, near the area now. Yeah. So we'll get to all that stuff.
Now, I do want to touch on something that you said. So when you were growing up, your grandmother, I know she was a prayer woman, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what made you feel like it wasn't real?
I guess I wouldn't say I didn't think it wasn't real, because I've been a praying type of woman since middle school, high school. Like there'd be times where like someone would be mean to me or something, and I would pray. There's been times where I used to pray on my way to the bus stop.
Okay.
So I had an early praying journey, and then that's when I realized it was real, when I would pray for like no one to bother me today, no one make fun of me, because I was just a clumsy kid.
Welcome to the club.
And then there would be times where like no one would bother me, or someone would bother me and my best friend would take care of it or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that was real. And then just growing up, I don't know. I never really prayed when it came to like death and stuff like that. Okay. So I just was still trying to figure it out.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to ask that question.
That's
Go ahead and keep it. Talking about your journey.
Okay. I guess what really drew me to give our church a chance, because I had a bad testimony of a past church. I'll never forget. I even wrote a college paper about it. And I kind of was part of that church because, I was going with like friends and their families in the church and stuff like that. And it just it was a moment where it just made me feel like something was wrong with me and stuff like that.
So you went internal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just a big, I guess, is that the right word, debacle, where it felt like I was in a movie. And everybody got the ghost and everything but me. Yeah. So I remember just being like young. I think I was still in high school, like senior year, and I was looking around and I was like the only one like, what's going on? Why is everybody running around crying and stuff? The kids, the moms, the adults, everybody. And then someone, like the preacher of the church, was like, here's my number in case you need to talk to me. It just made me feel like something was wrong with me because I didn't do everything. Yeah. Come to find out, some of my friends that was not even them, they were kind of faking it, but because what everybody else was doing. So now I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't me just being something wrong with me. But that was my little bad taste of church for a second.
Okay.
And then when I went to House of Deliverance, and they actually like hugged me, cared about my name. You know,
we are huggers.
They are huggers, and they made me more huggers and stuff. Yeah. And almost the world almost made me not as sweet, you know, as I was, because I didn't grow up close with my grandma. Okay. Until I became more of an adult, you know, graduating college and stuff like that. So once I realized, you know, that sweet side of me and stuff, and I was like, oh wow, these people actually care, you know, and that's when. Did you think for a second that it wasn't real? Maybe because of my first experience. Okay. And the fact that people told me that what they did wasn't real. Okay. I guess some things I was like, yeah, are they real? Do they really care? Or, you know, made me skeptical. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what convinced you? That was a great question. What convinced me was that once I was battling demons myself and didn't realize it going to church. Okay. And it wasn't more of me spending time with my grandma or just doing it or coming just because of her. Mm-hmm. It was more because of me. And once the pastor started preaching and stuff, I was like, does he know somebody telling him my business? It was moments like that. I'm like, wow. And then when I would go home, I would really take some of what he's talking about and like really think about it. Mm-hmm. And that's what made me more of a believer. That's good. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you made the journey from, you know, not really being in it. Was there anything else significant? So you talked about, you saw the realness of what it was to be in a community. And what we're talking about again is connecting yourself with like believers, you know, connecting yourself with people who also are flawed, but they want to do right. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first to tell you is that we don't do everything right. Sometimes, you know, I cry a lot, but we all come together wanting to do the right thing, didn't you say? And you have been a wonderful addition to our church. Thank you. Well, for me anyway. Yeah. So, but I do appreciate that. So, you know, what else was something that you wanted to share on today? I want to make sure that people know that going to church made me realize, and not even just going to church, but to like learning the power of prayer. Yeah. You know, I remember when I finally joined, and it was like pretty recent. Like I've been a member about 3-4 years now. Yeah. And I finally was like, I'm ready, because it was like instances, it was just the power of prayer where I would go up and I'd be like, I ain't finna go and have them pray over me and stuff like that. But then when I started doing it, I was like, wow. And then I started like really putting more power in the prayer and like actually believing it. Yeah. And, you know, doing this or that and putting more intention behind my prayer. I guess that's the best word. And then I was like, wow, it does change things. And going to this church really changed me. I've done, you know, I just talk about it all the time. I pray every day now and stuff like that. Amen. And it just to show it really, especially hearing the testimonials, yours and many others at the church. I was like, wow, I'm thinking in my head, like these people are like perfect. No. just like I grew up thinking my grandma was perfect. Even hearing her testimony, I'm like, it's just like such a relief. But you know, I will touch and agree with you. Prayer works, because it really does. And I love that you touched on the fact that now you're more intentional about what you pray. And when you go up to even get prayer, you're believing more. And that's the whole thing about it. Prayer is belief. Yeah. Prayer is believing that I'm talking to God and he hears me. Yeah. You know, and that's something that we've been teaching in our church, you know, a lot, is that God hears you. No matter where you are, he hears you. I'm so happy to hear you say that, because a lot of people need to know that God does hear prayers. Yeah. And would you say even when, you know, even before you joined the church and before you were doing all this, wouldn't you know, you can look back and say, now God did hear my prayers. Yes. Yeah. I could definitely say that, because I've always, ever since I was little, I had a best friend, and we always be like, we're going to be mothers of the church and stuff like that. Mothers of the church? And oh my gosh, that's so sweet. And what's funny is, she kind of explained to me what that was, but I didn't even realize what that was. I didn't realize my grandmother was the mother of the church until I started going. So the fact we're going to have our church hats, because there's this organization that they were a certain color, and they had like a brunch at the Tampa Garden. Yeah. And I was like, we're going to be just like them, just cute. outfits, hats, everything. And, shout out to her. We're no longer friends anymore, but I always kept that with me. Like, I've always wanted to be, like, find a church that I loved and stuff. And the fact that I found one, I was like, okay. Yeah. I spoke it into existence. That's all. I was like, oh, wow, I'm going to be one of the mothers of the church. I just see it now.
Well, the thing is, that's so beautiful that you want to be a mother. I'm just saying, she want to be a mother. She want to be a mother.
Yes.
Well, the thing is that's beautiful. And I see you and your grandmother's relationship just growing and thriving and just so beautiful.
Thanks.
And I love that. And that's something, connections are so important.
They really are.
We don't understand how important it is to be connected, because here's the thing. We can learn so much by ourselves, but as you said also, we can come together in Bible class where we're all like, aha, I see it now. And it's so funny because when we're in Bible class, I do see where we're just like, click, 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 click. Oh, wow, didn't see that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that, and just glad you said that. When you talk about prayer too, did you find it ever hard to pray?
I wouldn't say hard to pray, but I was hoping that I was praying right. I just used to think that I was supposed to pray a certain way, or I was supposed to be on my knees or something at night and stuff. And then once I started like saying, when I was going to school and praying, and like, I would have a great day, I felt like, because I started off with prayer.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh, so I don't have to like do it a certain way or have a closet or anything like that. I'm like, I didn't even have a closet back growing up. So I was like, how am I going to do that?
That is so funny. I didn't have a closet. But yeah, what made you think that you had to do it a certain way? Just because of things that you saw, or?
I guess more so on TV, because I really didn't grow up around, other than being helped by the church, stuff like that. I didn't like go to church to understand, like,
okay.
I guess more so TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you had to be a certain way, or you have to be sinless. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, no, God hears everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's the wonderful thing about God, is that He hears you no matter where you are, no matter what you're in. As a matter of fact, sometimes I think that He really does listen for those that are in need. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Those that are caught in sin. Because the thing is that He doesn't want anybody to perish.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anybody to fail. He actually is rooting for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So He is close to the brokenhearted. He is close to those that are bound, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because He wants to make sure that they can get free. He died for us to be free.
Right.
So I love that you're bringing that up. And prayer is such a powerful thing.
Yes.
It's one thing too that I always talk to your grandma about, is she said, don't stop praying. And I'm sure she tells you the same thing too. Yeah. Is that you always have to pray, and just, even when you don't have the words today to say, sometimes it's just important to just say thank you to God. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just thank you for my life. Thank you for waking up this morning. Thank you for starting me on my way. Thank you that I had a place to sleep, because I remember times where we didn't have a place to sleep. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. I love that you brought that out. Such a young person talking about prayer. Yay.
Yes, it really is. And then sometimes I try to, like, past friends kind of say, I guess got to the point where, like, did you pray about it? Do you want to go to church with me and stuff like that? Yeah. And that's when the part of my life where I had to learn, everyone's not going to be able to go on this spiritual journey with me. So I had to learn to pray about that and stuff like that. Even just when praying about having certain people around me to, like, get away from them. Yeah. I was like,
how was that though? Being a young person, how was it, making the transition to, move in the direction that God is leading you? And sometimes, like you said, having to understand that not everybody's going to go.
Well, I'm feeling that more so now.
Okay.
Within the past few years, just moving from the south side of St. Louis, a different environment.
It is.
It's really different, out here in the county. I'm like,
it is. It really
okay,
is.
I don't have to tolerate that, or just it's more positive out here to me. Yeah. Regardless of
except for the driving.
Just the driving. Man. But see, I just started learning to drive. I just got my license this year.
What?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, actually, learning to drive was me going to the South Side for my mom, getting her stuff together.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, I guess I'm going to get over this fear.
Yeah.
Because I got it from her, I guess.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Because I never saw her drive. She didn't have a car, when I grew up with her. So just learning this stuff now and transitioning and stuff, because thankfully the pastor just talked. That's why I'm like, does he be knowing my business? Because it's just like, some people are not going to be able, and if they like hold you down and take you back to that old place, the old habits I used to do, I'd be like, no. It's been a long time, I like let go of friendships I've had for like 10 plus years. Yeah. But the fact that I'm happier now that they're gone.
You smile a lot. So.
Yeah. I'm like, are you telling me I could do this like 5 years ago?
Right. Come on.
Save me some heartache.
Some anguish, some heartache, some sadness, you know what I'm saying? And I think we all find that it's like, if I would have known what I know now, then I wouldn't have waited so long.
Yeah.
With me, like, it's a constant process, and it's just, I'm learning. I got joy sometimes just being by myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where you thought you always had, I was that person, I gotta have people around me.
I was like that too.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I always thought, like, if people weren't around, then something's wrong with me. We turn inward and we think, well, why aren't they by me, or why isn't this happening? Why is that? But now I have total peace, just sitting playing with my crazy cat. But yeah,
I really do.
Yeah,
like I used to be like, all my friends was on the South Side with me and stuff, and me, I just be chilling at home.
Yeah,
he say, you want to go this, you want to do that? I'm like, okay. So you don't call much. I'm like, sure, I be chilling at home. If I call you, I gotta gather my thoughts, or I gotta get triggered, or hear about gossip I don't care about anymore, or hear about past friends that I don't even talk to anymore.
Yeah.
And having perfect peace is really like a thing. I didn't realize that until recently.
That it was real. Yeah. Where you can literally sit and just be.
Yeah.
No. I'm serious. It's like you really feel peace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're always like constantly, when you've been a person that's constantly always double checking and thinking and doing all this kind of stuff. It's a beautiful thing now.
Yeah.
And
just especially since I gotten baptized and stuff.
Okay.
Because I was waiting on the perfect moment and everything. And then when my mom passed, I was like, well, because I was going to do it when I brought her to church with me. So after that didn't happen. But once I finally got baptized, I was like, it was like a relief. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to dump that friend. You ain't gonna take me back there. Just all the just good stuff. And now I'm married now and stuff too.
I know.
It's
beautiful.
It's like, oh yes, you helped decorate and everything. You was there in the reception. I was like, wow, my church family actually cares and stuff. I'm like, why am I holding on to people that kind of low-key don't think they like me for real? They just know what I'll become. That's what I was starting to feel.
Really?
That's how I was starting to feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, God said in the Bible, it says that He puts the solitary in families. You know what I'm saying? So for everything we lose, we gain, because you got a whole bunch of mothers now at the church.
Yes, really.
And then, family members, friends, and different things. So that's what I always say on these podcasts is, pray and ask God where you should go. Everybody find somewhere where you can connect, where you can belong. You know what I'm saying? Like we've talked about my church, House of Deliverance, but find where God is leading you, because you do, as she was saying, I do hope that you'll talk about your baptism experience too. So we can really understand that for viewers who don't know what that is. But we just, getting connected helps you in so many ways. I know in this world we talk about you don't need to go to church and this go to church, but wouldn't you say that you find a comfort in going there, and you understand things better? Because I'm just gonna be honest, sometimes reading my Bible by myself, I don't get it. So the way that the preacher breaks it down is so amazing, because me and you sit together. That's why we always sit together.
This is why, I didn't even imagine us sitting together all these years, and I'm like, wow, we're friends now. It's just the way things come together is amazing.
And it is amazing because that same smile is what we do. We be at church and we just go, and it's amazing because we just hear it and it connects and it's like, yeah, I remember that. And yeah, I know how that feels. This past Sunday was amazing.
It was. And I must say, it's so weird not to say Sister Stacy.
Yeah, you can. Well, I'm Sister Stacy. You can say it.
But Sister Stacy actually inspired me to start writing stuff down because she would be bringing her notebook with her Bible. I'm like, that's a good idea because Pastor be just on a roll with
I know,
stuff.
you gotta.
I'm like, I need to remember that.
Yeah.
So I created a journal, and I was like, well, why not put my scriptures and what he's talking about in my notes in the journal? So that's what maybe.
Has that helped you a lot, like remembering more things?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially when he ties a story together and metaphors, and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. Yeah. So sometimes I take it to the gym with me, and I just read over it, or even all kinds of ways.
Yeah. Like with me, I like writing down his examples that he uses because the example, like I have to have pictures in my mind, and it helps me remember it. You know what I'm saying? So I have like a whole column where it's like example for this scripture, example for that.
Yeah. I'm a visual person too.
Yeah.
And I always commend Pastor. I tell him all the time how proud I am of him just taking his word, putting it into today's language, today's examples.
That anybody can understand.
Anybody can understand word. Even the kids, I'm used to when I was little that the kids used to just fall asleep, or maybe because I'm up front, no one be asleep for real. But
we do sit kind of close.
But it's just like, oh, I know the rapper he talking about, and he tied it to the lesson. It's like, how you know about that?
Sometimes you gotta help me because I'll be like, who's that?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, oh, you here
too. Yeah.
Because I grew up watching Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of how I'm like, I hope I have a church like that, because he took his lesson and put it in his sermon at the end of the show. So I was
We're showing our age.
We really are.
But I liked the show.
I liked the show. Yeah. I think that show was like the only show that like really talked about church and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And family among others. So I was like, okay, I hope I find a church like that. And it just reminds me of it.
Yeah.
In our version.
Yeah, in our version. But so we were going to talk about the baptism.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Okay, so I always imagined, I've always wanted to be baptized, especially when my grandmother was telling me about it, how it makes you a new person and stuff like that. And growing up, I don't want to say I didn't have many people I admired, but it was more so like, not celebrities, but like,
people far off.
Yeah. And when I realized my grandmother was that person for me, it was because she just was such a kind heart. Like she could say something to you that might have been harsh, but she said it in the right way, and she said it with a smile.
Yes, she will.
And she's done it to me and stuff, toughen my skin a little bit too. And, I'm like, I want to be like that. Like she's very graceful in my eyes.
Yes.
And when she was telling me about, okay, you want to be baptized? I'm like, yeah. The first couple of years, I'm like, yeah, sure. I was like, because I always knew in my mind there was a process with me. First, I had to enjoy the church, and then I had to join the church. Yeah. And then I said, okay, once I joined, I said, wow, I guess the path is going to be towards baptism. And then I was figuring out how I'm going to get to that point. And then I realized I had to be used to letting certain things go. Okay. When I was younger, I was a party girl. I used to love having fun and doing all this stuff. And I just remembered I had to slowly let things go, drinking, smoking, any of things like that. And once I was like taking months off of that, and then my friends start saying, you're just pointing stuff out like, you're more fun this, you're more fun doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And then I started listening to Pastor like, well, that sometimes means you are going in the right path because
they don't want to hang out anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm like, you know what? If I go a month and we haven't talked, I'm not sad about it. I'm not wondering what you're doing.
Yeah, you gotta scratch your head like, why
am I so used to not being you? So I was like, maybe it's okay. I'm like, oh, I'm really not that fun. Well, let me see if I go a year without this, how often do I see you guys? You know, I moved to a new house, my first house, you know, I barely see certain people. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm on the path to knowing, getting baptized. Because now that I know that I can go a year or months without doing something, I'm like, I can go the rest of my life without it. So once I was finally like ready, like, oh, I don't do this anymore. Then I was like, okay, I'm ready to get baptized. And then I was like, okay, my mom gets sick, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so me thinking she was going to get enough strength to come to church with me.
Yeah.
And me trying to hurry up and learn how to drive and get comfortable so I could go all the way there, pick her up.
Yeah.
Because it would have, my mom's was kind of difficult. So if I didn't go and do it, she wasn't going to really go. Because she don't like being bothered or thinking she's a bother, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, well, once she passed, I was like, well, God, like, what now? I just felt like, okay, what's your excuse now?
Okay.
You know, she wasn't going to be, you know, because I just felt like she was going to get baptized with me. I was just thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
But so once I finally said, I'm like, okay, my birthday, I want to get baptized. I feel like I don't want to drink. I don't want to do the other stuff. I don't want to have a party and all that last hurrah type of thing.
Yeah.
Because then this is going to just make me prolong it. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. So I told my husband first. I said, will you come with me to church? And I'm ready to get baptized. He looked up like, he just had this little twinkle in his eyes like, oh, wow, you're ready. You know, because he knows I'm just now really getting into church too.
Yeah.
And so he was like, okay. He didn't hesitate or anything. He said, okay, I'm ready. You're ready? So I did it for my birthday, my 33rd birthday.
You're going back to 20.
My 33rd birthday, I said, because it was supposed to be a Jesus year. I don't even know why I said that. But
yeah.
But, 33, new beginning, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I'll do it. And then once I finally told him, I knew it was official.
Okay, because
ain't no turning back. Yeah. Actually, I broke the last of my friendships. Okay. Actually, a week of, like, I was cleaning the house at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was just ready.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to have to invite you. And then if you don't go, I'll be upset.
Yeah.
And birthday coming up. I'm like, you know what? I'll just do it now. And then I text all my family and everything. I said, don't tell grandma. Because I just know that's going to be the biggest surprise for her. And I'm not sure if I texted Pastor. I probably didn't. But I texted everybody. And I was like, okay, I'll make it. I'll go and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the day of, I was just so nervous.
Were you?
Yes, I was so nervous.
You didn't look like it.
I was so nervous. The night before, I was like, I'm preparing the right way. So I fasted.
Oh, wow.
24 hours, I believe I did.
Wow.
And I prayed the night before. I said, all my sins out loud and stuff like that. And I did it the day of too. And then I also said, while I was going in the water before. And then got there. It was so cold. That's the only thing I was like, no one told me how cold it was. It kind of low-key felt like a cold plunge. But it kind of was like freeing though, because a cold plunge is actually good for us. It's just a lot. But, it was just like, okay. It was just such a relief when I did it. I was so thankful.
Did you feel like a difference?
I felt like, if it makes any sense to people new into this, I felt like I was like, I fully forgive you now for everything you did. You're okay.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I did it. I even have a picture that I took a screenshot of it, of me looking over and out, saying, I did it, Mom. In my, low key, I said, I did it, Mom. And then I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Next is the Holy Ghost. And then I was like, oh, wow, that's a whole nother part I got to think about. So it's definitely a journey.
Well, that's a journey, too, that, and I remind you that that's a gift. Mm-hmm. So the thing is that God will give it to you, you know what I'm saying, and seek his face. I just thank God for the teaching that we've been getting, because you are forgiven. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God, like when I got baptized again, because you remember when the whole church was going around and we got baptized. And when I came back up too, I remember feeling lighter, feeling like literally, like you said, forgiven, like I visibly or physically felt that. You know what I'm saying? And that was a wonderful feeling, because, I knew I had weight on me. I knew I had
stuff on me, sins, whatever, on me, and just getting that freeing thing and just actually believing and knowing that I was free.
Yeah.
Was a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so funny that you talk about that, because I just thank God so much for how God is teaching us now, because now we're really able to share with people how good it feels to be forgiven, to be set free, to understand. Now, I love how you said you were cleaning the house, but it was so funny. You're like, I'm getting this thing right.
It just was a weird feeling, because it was like, it's like guy friends, secretly have a crush on you. Out of here, I'm married in anyway, or friends that only hang out with you at night, stuff like that. I'm like, wow, I only have like, because I was like, oh, I have so many friends from when I was a kid and stuff. I'm like, they all not on the journey with you, And then especially, it's a hindrance on yourself if you keep people in your life knowing that they're kind of hurting you,
Yeah.
And it's like,
is that something that you easily came to realize, though? Like, we say it, but how do you get to that point where you're able to just let it go?
I prayed a lot about it. I say it in my testimony sometimes in my Shay's Wellness Club, that sometimes I pray every New Year's about anybody that's not meant to be in my life, stay in my life, and who's not meant to. I pray I see that. And then every time I say that, it's like weird jabs or weird, I was just kidding, or,
and you be like, you be like, were you kidding? No.
Right. And I'm like, man, like, even for instance, when I stopped drinking, and especially my best, people close to me, when I say no, that I mean it, and if I gotta keep like, you sure? You sure? You sure? You sure?
I understand that. Why do you want me
after the third time, I'm gonna get an attitude, and then when I get an attitude, it's such a problem. I'm like, nah. So once I stop caring what people think and stuff like that, it just was like, yeah, God putting the right people in my corner, and that's why I think God put me at church at the right time.
Yeah.
If I would have came earlier, I probably wouldn't have been ready, or I probably would have resisted way more than I did as an adult.
Good. That's good. God has an impeccable sense of time, and we don't know.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know, let's say, 10, 12 years ago, you'd be at this point. You know what I'm saying? So God, in his impeccable timing, as you were talking, it made me think of the other scripture that talks about, oh, what vehement desire in you, oh, what clearing of yourselves, when you said you literally had to clean house.
Yeah.
Because God it's another scripture too that says, for it is God that works in you both to will and to do according to his good pleasure. So it comes from God, that need to, I got to get away from this. I got to get away from this. I remember sitting in clubs back in the day and just being like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Why am I here? What is this? Why am I here? I ain't even excited about this no more. You know what I'm saying? And you get to that point where you just, I don't want this no more. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how I felt. After a while, kickbacks and stuff, I'm like, and they say, fun, or, and I'm like, I just don't find this fun anymore. Can we go to a golf tournament? Or can we do something like,
you like golf? Oh, wow.
I'm in a golf club.
What?
Yeah, I'm in the meetings have been like church hours, so I haven't been going, but I've been in part of a golf club about a year now. I like golf. Doing it is way more fun than watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm scared of you.
And I'm big adventure person.
That's good.
Like, I feel like after 25, 28 or so, I'm like, can we do something else?
Yeah.
Instead of the hookah bars and stuff like that. And we all know all the stuff came from hookah and all this other stuff with the lungs and all this stuff. I'm like, can we do some fun activities?
And good activities. Like, it's a lot of stuff. I'm excited that you're doing golf. You're stepping outside of the box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes would you say that some people think that just because you come to God and you are actively pursuing God, that they think that you're not having fun? They think that, what do you say to those people?
I'd say, I feel like they need to, I don't want to say learn to have better fun.
I just
feel like I learned to have fun in different ways. And I feel like the way I like to have fun can possibly give me a connection. I love networking. I like talking to people.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would want me to tone down and stuff. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, because I ain't going front. I'm a light everywhere I go, you know. Me, I'm going to say, what do you do? Or what do you like to do? I'm not going to be like talking about, oh, you hear about this rapper, that rapper, you know. I want to actually have a real conversation.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, we want to talk about that. You don't know. Yeah. Because when I talk to people, they're like, wow, you do that? Yeah. or, you know, just, oh, you know them? I'm like, wow, you know? And sometimes they want me to tone down.
Yeah, but don't.
No.
Don't let your light so shine. Let it shine. And I feel like that's what basically you've become. Like, you are a ray of sunshine. Thanks. And I really appreciate it. I think that's why God connected us like it did, because I love just being joyful. It's a good thing. It feels good to share joy. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like people used to tell me to tone down. I'm not going to tone down. Yeah. So
I used to get stuff like, you think you're so perfect. Well, no, you think I'm perfect. And I appreciate it, but don't make me feel bad for being, you know, just.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, good. Well, anything else you want to share about your testimony? It has been beautiful. It's so wonderful always to hear people and just how they came and how they're understanding God and different things. So
yes. I just would say that you always seek God, always be willing to learn from him and to take the criticism even God gives, you know?
Yes.
Because
that's good.
I've felt times where I didn't listen to God and then he like, all right. And then he gave me a push or he gave me like, no, don't do that no more. I told you, you know? And, you know, just listen. Yeah. Just be like, okay, you're right. Yeah. You know what you're trying to do. Yeah. You know, and trust him. And also it's okay to bring people along the way. Everybody's not going to want to hear it, but those that do, you know, allow them to, and give people a chance to reject you. Yeah. And that's good. You know, I used to think, oh, they don't care. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give them a chance. Let me invite them to church. You know, let me send them a live or something. Yeah. And then if they reject, I'm like, okay, at least I tried. I tried. Yeah.
That's good. You know, I think sometimes too, and I'm glad you brought that up, we are afraid of rejection. So sometimes we don't try. But it takes like your grandmother inviting you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It takes people deciding, I know they seem like they don't want to, but secretly they might. You know what I'm saying? But if you never give them the opportunity, if you never pray for them. And then I love how you talked about prayer at the beginning. Pray for the people. Yeah. You know, pray for them. Your friends and different ones that might not be like, oh, girl, you tripping or whatever. Just keep them in prayer. Yeah. You never know what God will do. Somebody pray for me. Yeah. So I just, I thank you so much. This has been wonderful. I always enjoy sitting and talking with you.
Thank you so much.
Always.
And one last thing, to be willing to hear. Yeah, just willing to hear criticism. Yeah. Even when, because I wasn't receptive to sometimes what, you know, oh, you got to give her this stuff and stuff. I'm like, no, I don't. God like still love me, you know. And then, but once you realize, okay, how about this? I'll take a break. I'll meet you halfway. Even taking a break sometimes from some things that you know you shouldn't be doing all the time. It's really a process. Yeah. And I just thank God I did it, because it's like almost, I don't know, manifest the life I have. Yeah. You know, a great church family, you know, a happily married wife, and just ready to start my family and stuff. And just God has been good. And God has been good. And now I can talk to I could talk to lots of people. Yeah.
I love, look, you're going to give me some pointers. But I so thank you again, Sharday, for coming in, just sitting on the podcast with me. I do appreciate it. I love hearing about your testimony. Now, some of these things I had never heard before.
Thank you.
So it's lovely to hear. I thank you so much. Again, this has been another episode of Transformation Unscripted. My name again is Stacy, and I do hope that you all continue to watch, continue to subscribe. When I say to you, it is something we just want to share with people. God is good and he cares about you. So if you're listening, please subscribe, please like, please share with your neighbor, share with your friends, share with your co-workers, share with family members, right?
Yes.
Share with everybody, because everybody needs to know that God is not sitting up there not concerned about you. He does care about you. He wants to know about you. So through these testimonies, we're just trying to share that we're ordinary people finding our way to God, getting a relationship with Him, learning to love Him, learning to listen to Him, learning to hear Him, just like you. Again, thanks again for watching. Have a great and wonderful day.
Have a great one.